It should come as no surprise to you that this show is about XRP. I was unaware of it at the time. Just 62 cents was all that was required, which was quite close. If I could choose between red and green, I would want to see 66 cents. It is recommended that you watch the second movie of the day if you were unable to view the first movie. Due to the fact that we have two objectives here, pay attention. Hey, just keep an eye out for this show. As soon as the major freaking outbreak takes place right away. However, Bitcoin and its operation are going to be the topics of our conversation. XRP is traded on Ethereum. Statements that Brad Garling made regarding Ripple Bank and the team that they are collaborating with in order to get this API service up and operating on Solana are very significant statements. Next, we received a warning about whales, so let's take a moment to gather our composure before diving in. Over the course of the last 24 hours, the value of BIT 64 and 65 has increased by 1.47%. Ether with a 1% increase. The cost is $3,445 in total. As the day came to a close, the USDC stood at $0.99. At the current price of $0.615, the market is only up 12.85%, which is not even the highest point of the bull run. Nevertheless, it is essential to keep in mind that the market value of cryptocurrencies is $2 trillion, which is equivalent to $389 billion for people who are unaware of this fact. I think it would be a good idea for you to check the XRP number right now. There were a total of 6 locations where the USB was in the wrong direction, and I am aware of 2 of them. You are going to want this since there are only approximately 6 left, and it comes with 100,000 LDN tokens. You will want it because it will disappear. The Metaverse Marketplace and all of our new web games will make use of this code in their own implementations. In the latter part of this year, we are planning to put it on an exchange, which will provide you the opportunity to enter the market before the major players do. Give it your whole attention. Since doing so will get you NFTs, you ought to make an effort to acquire all of the coins for this item. At the conclusion of the first movie, I made a statement that I would initiate the discussion on the topic. It is our intention to create an event for Canano that is comparable to the XRP rally. Without a shadow of a doubt, you are aware of the meaning of this word. It is not necessary for me to read the entire post because I am already aware with the subject matter. I have already discussed this topic with this essay that I have produced. It is important to keep in mind that this is extremely straightforward. That's right, ADIA at all times. It is the all-time high for XRP to be $3, which we will simply refer to as $3. At the moment, it is presently $2.80 off of $8, and it hasn't moved that much, has it? The price was simply 30 cents. 44 days have passed, which is equivalent to approximately 2 weeks. Right now, you may still get Cardano at a price that is very favorable. In the past, I had a strong aversion to Cardano, but now I get over it. Because I saw a dollar symbol, I decided to get Cardano. Yes, that is how simple it is. Public access will be granted to the post. Despite the fact that I have plans for both today and tomorrow, I am going to provide you cordon people with this time. The American Dental Association, ADA, is currently in a condition of hibernation, and I am certain that this time will be quite uninteresting, even if it were to achieve its height once more. This is in contrast to the years 2020 and 2021, when 95% of the cryptocurrencies that we examined were unable to attain their target price. New all-time highs were reached by each of these cryptocurrencies in the year 2017. In the interest of simplicity, let's refer to it as 50 cents. In this case, the ratio is 6x to 5x, which is something that I believe is fantastic for Bitcoin. Due to the fact that we only wager on things that are certain, it is not worth it if you want to hit a 20 to 5100x. You have to spend some of your D. Because of this, you can acquire it through Gen. On the other hand, rather than putting 5, 10, 15, you are investing $1,000 and 20,000 of these individuals who are D. Do you put $100 into a single investment, or do you invest it in a number of different kinds of investments? Could you tell me how much money you would get if you hit 100x? Before you reached 100x, what did you type in a few times? In the hopes of achieving a return of 5%, I will continue to adhere to my safer bets. To tell you the truth, I believe that I will go back 10 times over. Now, that's just me being completely forthright. For Bitcoin flows, you should check out this location. More money is flowing into exchange-traded funds, ETFs, as was anticipated. Due to the fact that it is still early, the second, third, fourth, and sixth waves of exchange-traded funds, ETFs, from these institutions ought to have already been released. Despite this, we are astonished to learn that financial institutions have already begun to embrace Ethernet and Bitcoin. Just a question of when it will happen in times gone by. Concerns were raised over the likelihood that the majority of institutions will make use of these assets. During a period of time, these materials were very close to becoming ready for use. It is important to determine whether the institutions are arriving at this time. When you anticipate that they will arrive, even if we are aware that they are on their way, you are already ahead of the institutions. The number of times you are going to live is unknown. Could you state with absolute certainty that there is only one? In light of the fact that the current market value of Ethereum is 407 XRP34, is it possible to alter this trend? There is no question about that. At a moment when Bitcoin is ready to plummet after hitting its parabolic blow off top and running out of steam, and XRP money is starting to move around, it wouldn't surprise me if XRP turned Bitcoin around. I don't see why anything wouldn't be possible, and it wouldn't surprise me if XRP turned Bitcoin around. When it comes to cryptocurrency, XRP is typically the last cryptocurrency that we buy or sell. There is a good chance that it will reach $20, and I would not be surprised if it did. On the other hand, XRP has to reach $20 since that is the price at which Bitcoin ought to be when it begins to decline. There is a possibility that we ought to focus on achieving a market capitalization that is marginally lower. It is essential that we reach approximately $1 trillion. It appears to be a possibility, but there are still a great deal of questions to be answered. Are the people in power going to allow it to take place? This 2-minute clip with Garlinghouse, which was published in Fortune magazine, is something that you should really listen to. It is difficult for me to imagine that technology such as this has become a political football, especially as a young person who was raised in the state of Kansas. Why would a Republican make the decision to lead? On the other side, we ought to show respect for novel concepts as the Democratic dynasty has shown us due to the fact that technology that reduces expenses makes things more efficient. I believe it is unfortunate that this has become a political issue. The situation with Elizabeth Warren makes this point abundantly obvious. A well-known line of speech is utilized by Elizabeth Warren when she is campaigning. It is the responsibility of all those who support cryptocurrency to criticize things that are not accurate, such as terrible accents. I am confident that I will be able to provide you with a great deal of information that will be of help to you, despite the fact that in the current political climate, many Democrats are against cryptocurrencies while Republicans are in favor of it. These individuals were the first ones whose tweets I came across. I believe that my name is JJR Jeff. According to John Roberts, tens of thousands of people will show their support for Donald Trump. The fact that Biden is opposed to Bitcoin, however, means that he will not receive any. I am unable to comprehend what he has stated. In point of fact, a significant number of individuals support cryptocurrency. In spite of the fact that it is illogical, I am in agreement with the change and appreciate it. Representative Rwanda Marxiu of California organized a crypto meeting in Washington, D.C., and prominent Democrats, who I believe are working to find a solution to the issue, were there at the gathering. 25 people were present at the time. Not only was there Senator Mark Cuban of Utah and Senator Jill Brand of New York, but there was also Senator Nita Dunn, who is employed by Joe Biden and works directly for him in her position. I have the impression that prominent Democrats are aware that I may have been incorrect. Going on, I will move on. A different official was sitting across from me. It was also said by the unidentified representative who stated that their primary responsibility was to mop that this is wrong, and I've already looked into it. This is not the way that I believe things should be done. Occurs when individuals have the misconception that some individuals are disseminating information that is blatantly untrue. Because of this, students need to acquire a deeper understanding of the actual applications of cryptocurrency. In spite of the fact that we have asked them numerous times over the course of the previous 5 years, how many of the talented actors working in this industry are still attempting to adhere to the traffic rules? Could you please ensure that we have a complete understanding of the traffic rules? It is without a doubt my goal that this will develop into a. In addition, I believe the Republicans are familiar with Brad. An idea will be considered by us. Due to the fact that SP is still running strong, I believe it is fascinating that if Yukon wins in November, we should, because of the way he feels about cryptocurrencies and the plans he has to handle it. Gensler must depart immediately. There is a need for crypto rules and legislation in the United States in order for these markets to truly take off and explode. I made a note of this. Where is it? It is very significant news.